So I have a question for you. Would the United States let a North Korean citizen fly into the United States? Or a Cuban citizen? Or somebody we think is actually ISIS from Iraq? So I'm asking you this question. They seem like pretty obvious answers, right? You would say no. The United States would not let these people fly into the United States because those are our enemy. Now you've fallen into my trap. I have you now. So Saudi Arabia Airways made it a policy not to allow any Israeli citizen, any Israeli passport holder to use their airlines, period. Not even to connect to another airlines. When a woman bought her ticket, I guess online, and then proceeded to the counter and showed her Israeli passport, she was denied access to the airline. However, the airline went so far as to, without charge, get her a completely separate airline at no charge, no extra charge, to go on that airline instead of Saudi Arabian Airways. The lady became so incensed and screamed discrimination. Now, if the United States can discriminate against people that we feel are our enemy, is it something different when other countries do it? We're talking about countries. Saudi Arabian Airways went so far as to say, Israeli citizenship, no. Jews, yes. So any Jew, he could be in full regalia with the going on and the whole 9 yards. The magical underpants, or is that the Mormons? I think the Jews have magical underpants too. And the Goldilocks, the whole 9 yards. Totally welcome. We'll take your money any day of the week. Israeli, no. So they can discriminate against countries that they feel the country is evil. So the United States can discriminate against countries that they think is evil, but nobody else can. Here is the ultimate of hypocrisy. So we have a company that admits they are not anti-Jewish. They're just anti-Zionist. Do you think that's fair? And they're saying the airline, the U.S. Federal Airline Marshal guy came out and said, you are given certain privileges in the United States. If you do not adhere to our laws, then those privileges will be taken away. And then we have these armchair jockeys, we call them news reporters, pontificating that if they don't follow our laws, they should have their privileges taken away. Okay, our law just said a Christian company can refuse to pay for somebody's murdering of their unborn children on their dime. So we allow people to discriminate. Because if we didn't allow that, we would be supplanting their religious freedom. This company isn't even talking about religious freedom. This company is talking about political freedom. Do they have the political freedom to discriminate? I say they do because we maintain the right to politically discriminate against countries that we consider our enemy. We just so happen to think Israel is our friend. I don't know why, because Israel has done things time and time again that goes against our national policies. Constantly. Oh, you haven't heard of it? Go look it up. I want you to type into a search engine, Israel goes against United States law. Type that in. You'll have about 6 million hits on that search. All right, you got it? Israel versus U.S. law. Anything like that. Anything close to that. So Israel does that to us all the time. Christians are supporting Israel when Israel is killing Christian Palestinians. Christian Palestinians who have been there for centuries, thousands of years. Over 1,000 years. Israel is slaughtering them. And the Christian churches are supporting these people. Oh, Israel is so fantastic. What kind of Christian are you? Who are you supporting? Are you standing up for what thus saith the Lord? If the Lord said, keep my sheep, right? That would, by its very nature, would mean that Israel is your enemy if you're a Christian. If you're a real Christian. Because a real Christian would not tolerate a country whose national policy it is to slaughter and murder people, including if they are Christians. And then you say, well, they can't tell. Well, if they can't tell that they're murdering Christians and that they're slaughtering Christians, then the policy itself is evil. Right? If you can't distinguish between a Muslim, a Jew, Palestinian Jews, you don't hear that in the news, do you? Palestinian Christians? If the law can't discriminate, if the policy can't discriminate between those groups, and they're all one people, then the law itself is evil. It's a very evil policy, right? You as a Christian should agree with that. So can Saudi Arabia discriminate against that very same policy? It seems that Saudi Arabia is taking into account more things than most Christian churches are. The libertarian in me says Saudi Arabia is correct. They're not discriminating against people. They're discriminating against a government. They have that right. Why? Because we have that right and we maintain that right. And the United States federal government, even at the NWO level, fights tooth and nail to maintain that their right to discriminate. Why are we in these places? Why are we fighting these wars? Why are we murdering Gaddafi in his country? Why are we murdering Saddam Hussein in his country? Because we maintain the right to discriminate against people. Saddam Hussein never did anything to the United States. Never. Never. Not even a jot, not even an I, not even a T. Nothing. Gaddafi never did anything in the United States. The Panamanian leader never set foot in the United States until we brought him over here. And we brought him over here more than once. When he was our friend, we brought him over here. When Gaddafi was our friend, we brought him over here. When Saddam Hussein was our friend, we brought him over here. We maintain the right to discriminate till this very day. Let that be a lesson to all of you. If you think the United States doesn't discriminate, you're out of your mind. You're insane. You're not awake. The libertarian enemy says, give this airline their right to discriminate against countries, political countries, for political reasons as much as anybody else. They said Jews welcome. Even when they went undercover. You know the United States does this. Went undercover, called into the airline and says, I want to go here and here. And the person says, okay, what's your passport? I have an Israeli passport. So, hold on, let me check. Supervisor comes on and says, that would be impossible, or we can direct you to some other airline. They're not going to take the person's money and lie. They're not going to do something underhanded. They tell you right out from the gate, we cannot take your money. We cannot service you. I don't think that's discrimination. Real discrimination is we'll take your money and we're going to treat you like a second-class citizen. That is how black people were treated. We're going to let you work the land for an entire year. Come harvest time, we're going to take all of your crops. But it's my land. I paid you rent. I've been paying you rent every month. Doesn't matter. Negro, you don't have any rights here. Take all of your crops. That's how discrimination really works. This is detecting what they consider to be an enemy. They have that right, just as we have that right. Thanks for watching the Shikamalan Show.